Hello again, YouTubers. This is Evenball. It is March 23rd, 2014, and I've got another bunch of games here for you, and a few other things, so we'll get right on it here. I went out Saturday morning and I got a couple of accessories, and this is the first accessory that I got, an Atari XM301 modem. Now, every once in a while I come across something for an old computer and I might grab it. This looked pretty interesting. I looked all over the place. I could not find the system that it went to. It was just the modem and nothing else. So that was it. I also found, real quick, this Xbox 360. It's a hard drive transfer cable. I don't know. We'll see how much use I get out of that. Probably nothing. But later on that day, I decided to go down to... I live in Washington State. I decided to go down to the Cowlitz Gamers For Kids. It's a little thing that they do every year in Kelso, Washington, way down south from me, about 100 miles down south, but it's a good drive. And I decided to grab a few things there. There were lots and lots of vendors there, so I was able to get some things I wouldn't normally get. And the first few things I got a few things that complete certain games. I got this instruction book for Tetris and DR Mario. It's only $1. It's not in the greatest shape, but I needed to complete this box and cartridge that I got about 5 months ago for $5 at a Value Village. It's a great deal, but there was no instructions, so now I got instructions. And pretty much the same deal here with Battletoads for the Genesis. I got this at a Value Village for about $12. Pretty good deal. But there was no instruction book, so I was really glad to see this because it's not really a normal game to find, and I was really surprised to find the instruction manual, but I'm glad I looked and looked and looked for it. Next thing I got for the Xbox, Splinter Cell Double Agent, just the disc, because I needed just the disc. I had purchased this in a huge lot of broken systems and a bunch of broken games that I was able to fix most of them. I do a lot of fixing. That's how I get some of my systems. And yeah, I just needed a disc for it. This had the instructions and it had, and obviously the case, but it had no game in it. So I had to get this. Now I've got 3 of the Splinter Cell games for the Xbox. I have this one, Pandora tomorrow, and the original. I think I'm missing Splinter Cell Conviction. I think that's it. Okay, moving right along. I have a few NES games here, a couple NES games. Codename Viper. And also I purchased this sleeve separately. I got about 4 sleeves for my NES games. And I love this game. It's a fun, kind of a run and gun, kind of a, well, it's kind of like Rolling Thunder. So, and it's a great game. So I really love it. And I also got Rad Racer II. I have Rad Racer 1. I've been needing 2. So now I've got it. Alright, moving right along. I've got 2 PlayStation 2 games that were just $1 each. Stuntman and GT3. I did not have GT3, so glad to have it. And Stuntman, I remember kind of being a big deal back in the day, but obviously it's kind of gone by the wayside. There was one sequel, and then there was nothing. And unfortunately, this one has no instructions, so that's another game I have to look for instructions for. I couldn't open it at the time, so I didn't know there were no instructions in there. But it's fine. For $1, I'm not going to complain too much. And there are 2 more games here. I have the first one. I have a Genesis game, Landstalker. I've always wanted this game, and I'm glad to finally have it. It's marked at $8, which is actually a really good deal. Although I got it for much cheaper. I got it bundled with another game, with the next game I'm going to show you, for about $23 altogether, and that's actually a pretty good deal. Let me go grab that game here real quick. Here we go. This is my final game of the week, the GameCube game of the week. It is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Yes, finally get my hands on this game. I love Resident Evil 3, and the GameCube version is, well, I'm sure the GameCube version is great. I've played through it multiple times on my Dreamcast, so glad to finally have this in my collection. I just need Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica now, and I should have all the Resident Evil games for the GameCube. RE4 is still my favorite, but I do love Nemesis, and of course I love 2. I mean, number 2 is really, really great. Actually, they're really all good, so you can't go wrong with any of these games. But yeah, this was cheaper than I normally see it. It's about $20. They had it marked, but I got this and Landstalker together for $23. That's a pretty good deal, I think. So not bad. It's complete, so everything's great. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope to have more games for you next week.